March 17, 2009, Lieutenant Commander Walter Francis Fitzpatrick III filed a criminal complaint for treason against Barack Hussein Obama II following the deployment of U.S. Army troops into Samson, Alabama to perform law enforcement activities after a shooting. In his complaint, filed with the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Tennessee, Fitzpatrick wrote, "You have broken in and entered the White House by force of contrivance, concealment, conceit, dissembling, and deceit. Free from constitutional restraint and following your criminal example, military commanders deployed U.S. Army active duty combat troops into the small civilian community of Samson, Alabama last week in a demonstration of their newly received despotic domestic police power. I accuse you of treason." The Inspector General of the Army later determined that the Posse Comitatus Act had been violated by the Army's deployment into Samson. Fitzpatrick later filed the complaint with the U.S. District Court in Washington, D.C., as well as the two sitting federal grand juries in Knoxville, Tennessee. Because no one at the federal level would act upon the complaint, Fitzpatrick filed it with his county grand jury in Monroe County, Tennessee. Unbeknownst to him, he was about to uncover massive corruption in Monroe County, the greater judicial district, and the entire state of Tennessee, which for decades had caused hundreds, if not thousands of citizens the loss of their freedom from corrupted grand juries, judges, prosecutors, trial juries, and crooked sheriff's departments. Ultimately, Fitzpatrick learned that the juries in Monroe County were rigged in violation of the law, that the grand jury foreman functioned as an advocate for the presiding judge and not for the people of the county, and that police reports of alleged incidents were never produced. Defendants were indicted routinely by grand juries which operated under the control of the prosecutor without the independence granted them by the Fifth Amendment to the Bill of Rights. When Fitzpatrick discovered that Gary Petway, the grand jury foreman, had been serving in the position for 20 years or more, he petitioned local law enforcement to take action to remove Petway, contending that the grand juries over which Petway presided could not have been objective in their review of evidence against the citizenry. Fitzpatrick placed an advertisement in a local newspaper to inform the public of the illegality of a foreman serving for such an extended period of time. He met with members of local law enforcement and contacted state and federal level officials, all of whom said that it was not their responsibility to take action about Petway's subjectivity. At the federal level, grand juries are impaneled from a random selection of eligible citizens, and a foreman is chosen from the group. When the grand jury's work concludes, all of the jurors, including the foreman, are dismissed. In Tennessee, however, grand jury foremen are retained for decades, rendering them patronage employees of the court to do the judge's bidding. Because no one would act to have Petway removed, on April 1, 2010, Fitzpatrick conducted a citizen's arrest, legal by Tennessee statute, of Petway. A judge not present in the courtroom at the time ordered Fitzpatrick arrested and jailed, which began a pattern of retaliation against Fitzpatrick on the local, state, and federal levels, leading up to Obama's Department of Justice.